We've got a Yonko crew, betrayal within Cypher Pole, an admiral, a mysterious disappearance of a genius scientist, and a Gorosei's name drop, and a cat. 20 years and 840 chapters later, we've got the first name of one of the 5 elders of the world government who have been mysteriously hiding deep within the Holy Land of Merijois, as big a name drop as Roxdy Zebek himself. So, what is he doing here? Who's he trying to see? I believe I know, but let's break down a couple other things before we get into that. So, Kizaru is currently on his way to Egghead for a prior operation. My guess is either to confirm the death of Vegapunk, protect him, or to like and subscribe to this channel, but protecting him seems much more likely, as he is one of the Navy's greatest military assets when it comes to the technology that they use for not only their ships, but the other equipment that they have. This is also going to be the first real opportunity for the Straw Hats to showcase their abilities and strength as an official Yonko crew against an admiral, as the last time they ran into conflict with an admiral was Dressrosa, and that was really just Zoro having a few skirmishes with Fujitora. Before that was Sabaody during the pre-time skip era of the story. This isn't including Green Bull's appearance in Wano, as that was primarily just the Scabbards and Momonosuke having a skirmish with him and Shanks interfering. Though I don't see this as the time we're going to see the defeat of Kizaru, I do think that they're going to be successful in, at the very least, getting away from him or holding him off until they escape. What are some of the other matchups you think are going to be had in Egghead before the Straw Hats leave? Is Kizaru going to have to fight any of the Seraphim? I do think Senamaru is still alive, and Kizaru, seeing the state he's in as a result of Lucci, might have him fighting our awakened agent. As far as the Straw Hats, Sanji's probably the most likely to square off against Kizaru in this round. Now, the man himself. So what is really known about Saturn? Or what could be assumed? Without getting too deep into the theories about kanji usage and the assumed names of the other Gorosei and Aim being Mother Earth and stuff like that. Among the few lines of dialogue Saturn has had throughout the series, his most notable trait is the scar over the left part of his face. Now, if he's bold enough to move about the seas with just another admiral, even as an escort, I think it's appropriate to claim that this is the result of some great battle held in the past. Because I doubt he just fell down the stairs or something. Do you guys think he could have been present during the battle between Roger and Garp and the Rocks Pirates? Also, it is worth noting that I wasn't the first person to think this, as I apparently screenshotted Pangea Da Vinci having the same sentiment, forgot about it, and then while writing this video came across that screenshot again, so shout out to you, Pangea. Great minds really do think alike. It is possible that after the Battle of God Valley is when they moved to Merijois for upgraded security. Being on top of the red line kind of puts you far and above any other forms of danger. If what happened to God Valley is what happened to Lelucia, then it's probably because the events that transpired there of needing a pirate, Roger, to assist the Marines in defeating Rocks was something the Celestial Dragons refused to maintain any record of. Needing the help of a pirate that isn't a warlord, which is from a system built much later in the story, would be a stain on the reputation of the capabilities of the Marines. With the scars upon some of the Gorosei, it's fair to assume that to some degree they took up arms themselves. But all that aside, my thought process is that he knows the Straw Hats are at Egghead, the island of one of their greatest military assets, and the Nika fruit is there as well. The mythical fruit that has eluded them for centuries is finally within their grasp, and they just need to get it from Luffy. They know who's got it, they know where Luffy's at, they just have to send their biggest guns out to get him. Some of them, as I think Luffy and the others are going to get away, of course, and this is going to be the moment where the world government realizes that if they want Luffy's fruit and stop him from becoming the next Pirate King, they're going to have to amass all of their strongest forces together against him. Not just one admiral or an admiral and a Gorosei, but all of the admirals and vice admirals, and maybe even some of the other Gorosei. And that's just going to be the tip of the iceberg for the final war. That shit's going to be crazy. So what's really going to result in this? Saturn's interactions with the Straw Hats, if they meet up, is may be one of the most interesting conversations that we've had in the series so far, because outside of most Marines and royalty, nobody really knows about the Gorosei. At least that's what it seems like. And I highly doubt that Luffy and his crew have ever even heard of the Five Elders. They know about the Celestial Dragons very well. Other than Robin, I don't believe that they're aware of a higher power above the Celestial Dragons. And if they do encounter each other, given Luffy and the others don't blast off ahead of Saturn and Kizaru arriving, I believe the main focus will be on Luffy. Though it's hard to say whether Luffy will have a full grasp of just how serious the tone is, but maybe he will. If he finds out Saturn is one of the same people that tried to buy and enslave Kami and shot Hachi, we're probably going to have some type of reaction to Saturn arriving, which is most likely why Kizaru's there, obviously for protection. If a conversation is held, however, do you guys think we'll be hearing more about Joy Boy or the sun god Nika from Saturn? Maybe there's a bit of a lore drop that we're going to have from him. Maybe Saturn tries to make some kind of justification to Luffy as to why he needs to take his life for some idea of world stability. Of course, our MC's not going to stand for that now. The arenas are beginning to heat up, and the tension of each chapter is continuing to rise. I'm very, very, very interested in seeing if any or all of the Five Elders have fighting capabilities to contend with the likes of a Yonko's crew. Their status of being the highest authority in the world has to be from more than just tradition's sake, being placed in there through bloodline. At the very least, some hockey feats from them are on the horizon, because you don't rule the world without the mindset of a conqueror. I think that what we've seen from Shanks isn't even as far as Oda's willing to go with Conqueror's hockey. There's a reason the Five Elders were almost dismissive of him when they had that mysterious conversation. And I believe that's because their hockey exceeds even Shanks's, at least probably collectively rather than individually. I know I don't have anything to prove that right now, so let's pump the brakes on trying to flame me in the comments for that, just for now. I'm not saying that makes them like top one or anything, just that they're confident enough in their own abilities to not have to worry about his presence. Unless, of course, Celestial Shanks. Very interesting topic, and I can't wait for this next week's chapter. Going to try and stay away from spoilers as much as I can, even though they're just so easy to come by. They're all over Twitter as soon as they drop. Speaking of chapter spoilers, I'd like to note that while there are dedicated channels to spoilers and spoiler content, I will not be doing that with this channel, at least not for the foreseeable future. There are no spoilers in my content, and if there are any in the future, I will explicitly state so in the thumbnail and the title. So just for anybody that might be going into a video worried about spoilers, you won't have to with me. As always, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on Kizaru and Saturn. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Helps me out, helps you out, pushes it out to other people. You can follow me on Twitter at Wrath of Reptar and on twitch.tv/Wrath of Reptar. Lots of gaming and anime reaction shenanigans on there. In the middle of Dead Space Remake right now, which it's pretty scary, huh, Stormy? Yeah, that game's terrifying. Yeah. As for that, I hope you all have a wonderful day.